What is up, sports fans? Coach Nick here, and welcome to another post-game live show after the Heat versus the Celtics Game 5. What a game, huh? A roller coaster of emotions. I'm a man who doesn't even know how to begin describing this game. The amazing thing about the beginning of this thing, just to start off, was that the Heat did not play zone one possession throughout the whole first half, and it really worked well for them, and they had control of the game. But boy, what a tale of two halves! There's no other way to say it. It was kind of helter-skelter. What's the word? Jekyll and Hyde. Now, it reminds me of, let's see, the Heat had a closeout game. I think they actually ended up doing it in Game 5 against the Bucks, but they came out looking very much like we saw in the third quarter here. They kind of came out in the beginning of the game that way, maybe not believing, unsure of themselves. You have to really believe and understand how to step on the opponent's neck and put him out of its misery, and they have not quite learned how to do that. And I've said this before, but neither of these teams is really playing up to the level of an Eastern Conference Finals team, right? We're having little, bits and pieces here. We see a little bit, but it's not consistent. It's not what you would expect from, this level of the playoffs. We should have teams playing much better, much more consistently. So let's just jump into the chat right here. See how everyone's doing. Let's get everyone warmed up. We're still getting people streaming in here pretty quickly. So let's do it. Okay, first and foremost, I just want to make sure I give a big shout out to Luca Della from last night. He was a really big super chatter, really generous. Thank you so much for all your support, Luca, and everyone out there that's been contributing. I'm totally blown away by how enthusiastic everybody is and wanting to be part of that part of the chat. But anyway, Bob Sanchez, hello. Okay, yeah, boy, Brody. Let's see here. Satvik Kurup, you were first. Okay, you're first. Why not? Although you weren't the first comment. Keetrick Mitchell was the first. Nice. I got to get back to doing that. I feel like we used to have that big race. Who's going to get the first comment on the videos? I think we're still doing that, right? Let's see here. You didn't comment. It's true. All right, let's go through here. Hey, give me a shout out. Where are you guys all from tonight? Is it different than most nights or not? Let's get a little crazy here. It's Friday, right? Let's act a little weird. What's up, Coach? What's up, Yellow Kiwi? I don't know if that means that you're in New Zealand, but hey. Sebastian Garcia thinks it's going to be Celtics in 7. I don't know. I think that was the last the last little death rattle of the Celtics. It just felt like I don't know. The Heat seemed like they know how to beat them. And by the way, what was funny about this and how a big out-coaching job for at least the first 24 minutes or so was, like I mentioned, Spoelstra doesn't go zone. So that probably the only thing the Celtics worked on all day yesterday was attacking the zone. And then all of a sudden they don't have it. And their offense looked terrible. They completely looked discombobulated, disorganized, had no idea how to attack a man-to-man anymore. It was like everything was perfect for what Spoelstra wanted to do, but then the third quarter hits, and I just actually texted let's see if he got it back to me or not. I texted Jared Weiss. I wanted to make sure that, so what happened in the third quarter was they got the running game going. They were forcing turnovers, so suddenly they weren't facing any kind of half-court defense. So a lot of buckets in transition loosened some things up. But again, here's the thing. You probably heard me talk about Jalen Brown versus Jayson Tatum, and I've said it on Twitter, and I got roasted for trying to say that Jalen Brown was better. I certainly like him better because Jalen Brown takes more shots that he can make than Jayson Tatum does. You can get caught up in the whole Jayson Tatum highlight package, which is really amazing when he does those step-back threes. But a lot of it sometimes feels like they skipped over some steps here that he needed to have fundamentally, where I feel like Brown has them. And, man, they're lucky that they had him, Brown, in the first half, because he was the only reason why they were anywhere close to the Heat during that whole first-half run. He was playing awesome, but it was also just within himself. And that's what I think most coaches will respond to. You never know what you're going to get when you're shooting that kind of high-difficulty shots that Tatum likes to shoot. And he still misses easy ones. He makes mistakes that are easy. And I know he's only 22, and I have to keep repeating that because he will get better at all those things and get much better at all those things, I'm sure. But for right now, the dude's been in the league for 4 years, and he's still making some of those mistakes. Eyes down, can't read the whole thing. He actually had 2 charges on the same possession, Tatum did. and they didn't call the first one, and then he goes back against the ball and just knocks him over again. So he's going to have to clean that stuff up before he elevates himself in my eyes. And as a result, listen, I think Brown's defense is terrific as well. Everybody, falls asleep every once in a while. You could point out, single possessions against anybody. But overall, his defense is fantastic. He's active. He's a really great athlete. And I just think that right now, Brown in a team framework is better. And until I see different, until I see Tatum cutting out these mistakes, then I can't get there. Hey, Nation JJ, oh my goodness, thank you. Another huge friend of the breakdown. Did the Celtics will themselves, or was the Heat off? Well, I got to tell you, the Heat certainly weren't off in the first half. Duncan Robinson was making them look foolish, and I love how they run the handoffs. So if I get back into coaching and coach a team, I'm going to really study what the Heat are doing, because I love what Robinson and Hero do off of handoffs. I love what Bam does on the fakes and then the drives and the post-ups and how they move. It's a little bit more of a... it's not really an offense as much as it's concepts and movement together, which is really the best way to play because it makes you hard to guard. So I thought the Heat really were clicking. They're playing terrific. And then, man, they started turning the ball over, and that got the running game going. That really opened everything up. And at that point, they tried the zone, and that wasn't working as well. They finally, all the work did pay off, it looked like, because they finally figured out Daniel Tice is the guy. I've been kind of scratching my head trying to figure out who the hell can the guy be on the free throw line they can throw it to, who can look at the basket. And they still didn't do it every time, but at least 2 or 3 times Tice caught it, looked at the basket, he scored on a jumper on one. And he might have taken a dribble and then dished or something like that for another bucket, but at least he looked at the basket first, collapsing the defense and opening up things. It took them 5 games, so they finally figured that part out. So good for them. Jalen Brown also was hurting the zone on attacking on the catch. Do not wait. Don't catch, triple threat. Look, no. You got to attack on the catch, get in the seams, and he was doing that a little bit too. So they really are getting a handle on how they want to attack the zone, which I suppose would be the thing where now Spoelstra is worried. There's a lot of things they could do. They could continue playing more man. They can rotate the guards, having them play up and put the forwards down just to see if it changes anything matchup wise. They could push up a little higher. They could double. There's a lot of things they could still do that he can pull out of his bag of tricks, but we'll see what happens in Game 5 or Game 6. It's going to be a big one. Jay the Dream 1, oh my goodness, thank you so much. Was that a charge on Dragic? Kind of a sick call. So I posted it on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, you probably should. I do a lot of in-game video stuff while we're there, and I also have a lot of fun. So what we saw from the reverse angle behind Dragic is that as he lifted his knee up, which is a very common play when you're shooting a layup, he crossed the knee over to the midline into the defender. That must be what the refs were looking at. He didn't just kind of go straight up and try and lay it in. Now, if you don't kind of go into the defender and use your body a little bit, then you get blocked. So that's what he was doing. Obviously, the baseline angle looked like a completely normal layup. But if you looked at it from behind, you can see once that crosses over, and there is a rule that you can't lead with your knee into the defender, and that's what they thought, and they reviewed it, and they gave it to him. So I don't think I have a problem with that as far as review and then accepting that was a foul. So it was a big one. It kind of hurt them, but they had already shot themselves in the foot, and when they were down like 15 with 5 minutes to go, and they were not going to score 15 points in 5 minutes. It just wasn't going to happen the way this was going. And so the only way they could have even won, independent of that call going the other way, was somehow holding the Celtics completely scoreless for 5 straight minutes to end the game, and that wouldn't happen. So let's see here. Let me get my notes up in front of me here because, hey, it's a wild, crazy thing. Let's see where everyone's from. What happened to Hero is a really good question. Gigolo Puff, big ups to you. He's always the man with a plan, helping me keep these comments sane and rational and germane. Let's see here. What's a good, where are we from here? Oh, Singapore, Washington. From Seattle, nice. Where else are we from here? Aussies. Oh, it's Saturday. Forgive me. It's not. It's still Friday here in LA. And I shouldn't say Aussie. I guess I should say Aussie because you're an Aussie. North Korea. I don't believe that someone's in North Korea listening to this or watching this. Is that really possible? You can get YouTube in North Korea. Let's see here. What else are we from? Arizona. Wow. All right. Down the 10. Let's see here. Kemba Walker, the X Factor, no cap. Let's see. What was Kemba's numbers? Because I'm curious. He was much better. Kemba ultimately was, 4 for 11, 15 points, 7 assists. for him, those are kind of pedestrian numbers. But he did hit some big shots. I like that one step-up screen on the guard, and he hit a three. Didn't think about it, got it up quick before anybody could react. That was a really good, important shot for them. So he was a little bit better. But Jaylen Brown has a higher ceiling. I almost feel like people argue the other way. Excuse me. That it's Jayson Tatum has a higher ceiling. He's longer, he's bigger, whatever. But I don't know. I do feel like I think in the context of Brown playing within himself and maximizing that, I think he'll be better. However you want to look at that, and that's how I am. Albuquerque, New Mexico. All right, Tony Snell, Bugs Bunny, and me. Nice. I guess Bugs Bunny is from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Huh? Who knew? Lakers win the chip. It's looking like that. I don't see the Lakers losing to either of these two teams. Jaylen Brown is better than when he plays under control. Yes, and which he does most of the time. And then Marcus Smart, man. Marcus Smart's a buzzkill for me. He really is. And, he makes just enough okay plays or good plays that kind of almost balance it out. But, man, he had some stretches in there that were rough. Bernardo Vivas. Oh, my goodness. Another thank you. Friend of the breakdown. This is just a gut feeling, but I think both series are going 7. I think a lot of random things went the Heat way this series. I'm going to need some water. I can't believe it. I'm going to have to text my wife and see if she'll grab me some water. Let's see. You're going to see me texting live on YouTube. I'm choking in this show. Haha. Live in the show. All right. Let's see if it happens. It might not. Let's see here. So Bernardo Vivas is just a gut feeling, but I think both series are going 7. I don't know. I still feel like the Heat can win in Game 6. They had their one clunker, and now they're going to figure it out and put them down. Now the Lakers, I don't know, man. I don't know. I did a video today. Please watch it. It's a little bit long, but hey, it's a lot of clips to go through. There was like 15, 16 clips. 9 of which I think or 10 went in the favor of the Lakers as far as the referee calls. It was really bad. They were bad across the board, but it definitely seemed to favor the Lakers a lot more. It was just kind of frustrating for me to watch. Not that I'm not a Nuggets fan. I'm not cheering. Listen, the more games, the better for me. But I don't know. I want to see a fair fight here, and it wasn't. The Nuggets have shown they can hang with the Lakers, and I'm expecting a big game from Jokic. Is my gut crazy? No, I think that they could probably win the next game. So I think that at least we get to the Game 6. But from there, I don't know how I feel about it. But we'll see. Thank you, Bernardo. Let's see here. Let's grab another thing. Tatum pushes off so much. He does, and he also keeps his eyes down and doesn't always, process visually what's going on in front of him. It leads to, bad plays and misses and turnovers. Let's see here. Hey, Troy Sousa Semper. Thank you so much. Why do I hate Boston? Haha. I don't hate Boston, but I'll tell you, Marcus Smart drives me crazy. Listen, because Brad Stevens is the gold standard. I love Brad Stevens. But Marcus Smart drives me crazy because he's just so all over the place. And I thought tonight he hurt them. I don't think he did enough good plays to balance out the bad plays. I don't know if I want a guy like Marcus Smart on my team. It's too all over the place. Let's see here. Coach Nick doesn't coach. I'm not actively coaching a regular team right now. I'm too busy, so no. But let's see here. So let's go back. So that Jayson Tatum kind of drives me a little nuts too. Oh, scared me. Here's the water. Thank you so much. You don't want to come on and say hello? No? All right. Well, thank you, honey. Okay. Wow. You got a chance to see me a little scared while the door was open. I have bad feng shui. I had to redo my office, by the way. Can you see the background? But as a result, the door to my office is behind me. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Feng shui, like you don't want to have a door behind you. And now I just found out why. Anyway, usually I hear people coming up the steps. I guess I'm so focused on the show right now. But hey, it's Friday. We're getting weird. Where did I leave off? So why do I hate Boston? So Tatum kind of drives me nuts a little bit too, although, again, he also is awe-inspiring with some of the shots he can make. I love Jaylen Brown's game. So let's parse this out here. I don't hate the Celtics. Who else in the Celtics do I like? I like Tice. And I don't know if he's like a starting center on a title-winning team, but yeah, I like him. And then let's see, who else? Who else on the Celtics? Everyone else I don't mind, I guess. I like Kemba. I think I liked Kemba more before he got to the Celtics for some reason. And everybody else, even like, hey, I know Enes Kanter. He's a great guy. So he's, what's not to like? So, there you go, Troy. I don't hate the Celtics. I have a couple guys that drive me nuts. That's all. All right. This is going to be LeBron's easiest finals ever. It's actually probably an interesting point. Maybe I would, yeah. Well, certainly since he got, yeah, probably. You know what? You're right. It might be the easiest finals he's ever going to have. And you know what? Who knows what's going to happen? But still. Okay, let's get back. Let's scroll down here and see what we got here. If you have a question, you can use Super Chat or you. Oh, thank you, Gigolo Puff. Is there going to be a breakdown on this game? Can you make a shoe stink? Of course there's going to be a breakdown. I'll get up tomorrow and do it. I'll try and get as early as possible. So here's the question. What are we going to focus on? Obviously in the very beginning, Duncan Robinson was on fire and was getting open. And I even showed a clip of it. Like literally Jalen Brown was guarding him. And it wasn't even for like half a second where he just sort of looked at the ball and didn't realize he had cut. And he was right back in it, but it didn't matter. He got the ball in the corner and boom, the ball's in. Like that's how quick he can get that shot off. So we'll have to look at that a little bit. Certainly the third quarter, how that all fell apart for the Heat was going to be a big focus. And then that might be it because I feel like if you look at the, if you ever go to popcornmachine.net, they have these awesome game flows where you can watch the score among other things that are really great. And so a lot of times you can pinpoint exactly when the game ended because there's like a big run and then it never really got back down again. And I would suspect that happens in the third quarter. And as far as I can remember, the Heat never really closed that gap. So this might be an early breakdown where I can kind of, finish doing the coverage of it in the third quarter because it was over by then. I don't know though. It's interesting that the Spoelstra versus Stevens showdown. Spoelstra's been getting the best of this thing by far, and I just don't know. I suppose the adjustments they made against the zone tonight were really, give a check mark to Stevens. But I still don't know if Stevens is gonna, getting back into the even column against Spoelstra yet. Let's see here. Is Spoelstra going to reduce the amount of zone after that half? I would think that maybe he'll go back to zone earlier and just try that again. Now here's the thing. They didn't really play a lot of zone in the first halves of the other games either, but they did do a little bit at least. So it was a surprise they didn't, but it was going so well for them. I could see why he didn't really want to change too much. But then they lost control of it. They could not find anything that would really help in that big run. Now in the fourth quarter, what was the point differential here? 29-25 Boston. So they outscored them by 4 because I felt like the Heat kind of got, somewhat balanced again after that. But the third quarter it was overwhelming. And then, Tatum really went off too. Tatum is frustrating. Like in a game like tonight, he was awful again in the first half. He's like sleeping. I don't know what's going on with him. He looks like he's, who knows what he's doing, but he looks like that. He looks out of it. And then all of a sudden he kind of wakes up, right? And then he just starts making shots. And then, by the way, the Heat made it a little easy on him. He got a couple easy ones to get going in the third. And then that opened up the floodgates. Now let's look at the fouls because there were people who were complaining. I actually want to go on Twitter because I was asking what were the bad calls that people were really upset about besides just the Dragic one, because I'm not going to do another one like I did today, so don't worry about it. But man, it was exhausting to go through, all those files and all those plays and then record. Ronnie and I went for 30 minutes. I was beat. Okay, Darth Dots. My goodness, thank you from New Zealand. Well, I forgot. Tell me what you say in New Zealand when you want to say hello to somebody. It's probably just hello. Going to do a refs vid on this one or just for LeBron? Oh, that's so funny. I'm answering your question without realizing it. Just for LeBron's teams. Come on, coach, you're better than this. No, listen. I don't think there was enough calls in this one to merit it. But listen, I do them for whenever it pops up and people are upset about it or I see enough. Yesterday's game was just was way above average, way out of the ordinary, and it wouldn't have mattered if it was LeBron's team or whatever. It just happened to be that. But man, did they benefit? So there you go, Darth. Let's go back to the comment. Let's go back to. Let me go see if anyone else recommended on Twitter some of the calls. Any other calls? Let's see. The obvious smack on Tatum's hand that any Heat player would have gotten. Which play is he talking about? I thought there were some missed calls on a few Tatum and Kemba drives as well. Okay, so he's in favor of the Celtics here. Shooting foul on Tice on Dragic. My God, that was terrible. As well as the phantom call on Kemba on Jimmy's layup. Okay. The shooting foul on Tice on Dragic. Which one was that one besides the drive? I don't even know. All right, well, I'll have to go through it and figure it out. They cheating us, Heat give them all the calls, okay? Celtics in 7. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if the Celtics are going to win, it's going to be in 7, but I don't know. I think the Heat are gonna take it in 6 for some reason. I don't know. Let's see here. Let me get my notes in front of me. Anything else I want to talk about? Oh yeah, so interestingly enough, in the first half, the Heat were fouling a lot. I think it was 13 personal fouls, which is kind of high, but a lot of them weren't shooting fouls, interestingly enough. So it wasn't like killing them in that sense from the free throw line, but it does put them in the bonus earlier, so the Celtics would get free throws on that next on the fouls after that quicker. And then you kind of get into a little bit of a foul trouble situation where they pretty much wrote it okay and they were able to handle it, but because let's see, Adebayo had 5. Butler had 4, and then Dragic fouled out. Okay, so that they had a hard time. It did affect them a little bit, and I bet you the rotations got a little bit screwy too. I'll have to check, but that always seems to screw people up on offense as well. Primarily if you come out earlier than you're used to, and they have to come back in later, it usually messes people up in a weird way. So anyhow, let's see here. I have $20 against the Nuggets, but I feel like I might lose it. I think you might lose it for this next game. I think if it's overall you're going to win it, but if it's for this next game tomorrow, I don't know. I feel like the Nuggets are going to put it together and win a game, win one more. What time is the game? Is tomorrow, right? Let's just get the schedule out here just to make sure. But yeah, they don't have another off day, I don't think. Tomorrow at 6 Pacific. Okay. Let's see here. He leaned in for a 3-pointer and then got the call. Okay, that one. Yeah. I mean, okay, I guess I can see that. Coach Nick, who won the game? Well, we know who won the game. The Celtics won the game going away. Stop crying about Boston. Okay, let's stop. Do you think Kanter should play more so that Kemba can thrive in the drop coverage? I don't know. I mean, they're so worried about Kanter's defense, I suppose. They don't want to put him out there, but he really helped them. He gave him a really quick jolt and got him going when he got in. Let's see, how many minutes did he end up playing? Kanter played 10 minutes. It's probably about what he's going to get, 10, 12 minutes tops, 8 points, +3 in the plus minus, 4 rebounds. So, you got to be careful how long you play him before he starts to hurt you on the other end. So, Tice was moving back and Dragic jumped into him and they called the foul on Tice. So, yeah, that kind of call would have been called, every time a few years ago, and they're trying to clean that up in the last several years. So, I can see why that would be a problematic foul, and it shouldn't have been called. But, they were kind of bad on both sides too. I feel like both teams had plenty of reasons to be upset. Let's see here. Now Tyler Hero actually ended up having a decent game. Let's see. He finished with 14 points on 6 of 12 shooting. So he actually had kind of like what his normal game was, but he was so amazing in the last game that we're all saying, what the hell's wrong? Why didn't he score another 35 points, 37 points? But, I think he played fine, but there were some moments where he did feel a little bit like he was not as aggressive as he had been. And they're going to need it. Now, the other thing was Duncan Robinson actually played 37 minutes, but it just felt like he was out for a huge stretch. And so they have to kind of figure out what they want to do about Crowder. 0 for 6 from 3. He's killing them there. He didn't have any turnovers, but Dragic got to 23 points on decent shooting, but he just still seems like he's not the same guy. And the 4 turnovers also hurt them. So overall, though, the Heat only had 12 turnovers. Celtics had 11, so that really didn't hurt anybody. They shot almost exactly the same amount from the field, but the Heat could only make 7 of 36 threes, while the Celtics hit 12. And that pretty much will also give you an indication of what it was. If you get outscored by 5 threes by 5 and 3-pointers, that's going to be a significant obstacle to overcome. And that's a lot of the reason why you see in the final score why the Celtics were able to win by a bigger margin. Wow, another super chat. Thank you so much, Dave Wu. Okay, Coach, I've watched your video since being a 2012 Thunder fan. Oh, my goodness. So sad you couldn't fix their sphincteritis. That's right. Sphincteritis. I got to bring that back when you get a little bit nervous in the pants. Learned so much about the game from you. Big fan, first donor. Thank you, my goodness. Wow. So Dave, 8 years, man. That's almost from the beginning, pretty much, because the first 2 years were still I was coaching a high school team and trying to get both things done. So you're pretty much there from the very beginning. Wow. And thank you for being part of the conversation. It's been a crazy ride, and I can't believe that we're all still here. Let's see here. Okay, that was it. So that was it. So where? By the way, Dave, where are you from? What's NT? NT would be nacho. I don't know. What's NT? Anyone want to tell me what NT is in the comment? I'll wait. And Donkey Donk, thank you. I talked about being in the NBA before, wanting to work. I just can't. I don't want to leave my family and travel that much. Alan, any thoughts on Daniel Tice? Oh, let's see here. Well, first of all, what do I think of Klay Thompson being back 100% and Wiggins improved shooting? Yeah, I think that Wiggins could fit in nicely there. He probably would play the best ball of his career with the Golden State Warriors. I think that will be a good fit for him. And then certainly with Klay coming back and Steph coming back, they're going to be, right there. They should be right there. But they still have some work to do on that roster. Do you think Hero should start and get 40-plus minutes? I think he's fine. I think what they're doing with him is fine. I just worry a little bit about Crowder. He's defensively, I get it why they like him in there, and he's tough. But there are times when he's just sort of like it's just a buzzkill. I don't know how else to say it on offense. He's not really a great shooter. He's had moments where he's shot well, and he was certainly shooting well up until the last 3 games. But he's got a really low arc. He kind of catapults it up there. So I'm concerned a little bit about Crowder in my mind. I guess right now I'm in a mode of where can get more offense, and obviously I think that's where you can get Hero. So Hero ended up playing what? He ended up playing 29 minutes. Is probably about what he should be playing. And Iguodala is also a buzzkill. He really hurt them. He might have had one good assist that helped him, but I know he had a couple blocks, but. He's trying to get away with his old stuff defensively. They're not letting him get away with it anymore. How many fouls did he have? So he had 2 fouls in 19 minutes. And his offense is it's not there like it used to be with the Warriors. So I would cut back those minutes. I wouldn't give Iguodala more than about 12 minutes tops. Let's see here. Oh, let's go back. It jumped on me. Let's see. Any thoughts of Daniel Tice? I like Daniel Tice. I think he's very solid. And he can be the starting center on a team that gets the finals. He could probably do it for them. He's good enough to be that. I don't know, if he gets to a title. That might be the issue there. But he's fine. He's good and he's tough. NT is New Taiwan dollars. Okay. So you're in Taiwan. Wow, I guess, right? Does that mean you're in Taiwan? That's cool. Yeah, thank you, Chris. So Taiwan dollar, how do you guys know that? Yaiwan, is that what it's called? Or Taiwan, I guess it was a mistake, yes. Butler is a waiter for the Celtics. Okay. New Taiwan. I was unaware there was a new Taiwan versus an old Taiwan. You know what? I apologize for being ignorant about that. I should look it up. Do I think Butler is a bit overrated? Butler is a second-tier guy. He's not a first-tier guy. Every once in a while, he imitates a first-tier guy. He is not. He is a second-tier guy. And man, he sometimes loses his nerve and just starts making this darndest plays like a rookie. Very strange. So no, Butler is not that guy, and I don't think he'll ever be. This is what he is. But you want him. You want him to your second best player. That's where he's perfect. And right now he's sort of struggling to he's sort of the first best player and not. And it's and he looks the part for a long time of games, but then he doesn't sustain. Okay. Let's see here. What else do I want to talk about? And don't forget, if you want your questions to get right at the top, you can always do a super chat. And let me know. I was thinking a lot more about doing the membership thing on YouTube. Do you guys want me to do that? Because we could do private live streams like this. I could do maybe a video a week or every 2 weeks. So a private video just for you guys. It's whatever I see on in the NBA. What do you think? And I guess in theory, I have to start that in the new season, right? I don't know if I can just go to launch it and then try and doing it in the off season might be weird and not a lot of things to produce. But let me know in the comments. I'm kind of curious because it's really kind of piqued my interest here, having launched a Patreon for my political podcast. And that's gone really, really well and was shocking to me. I'm like, oh well, if people want that and there's room for it, let's do it. I mean, it would be nice if a couple thousand of you guys wanted to be part of it. And believe me, I definitely think so. Yes, do a membership. I'm broke AF for sure. No money for that, coach. I mean, listen, it would probably be like $3 or $4 a month or whatever, maybe like $5. You know, I have to remember YouTube takes like the 30% of it or whatever off the top, so it really sucks. But Gigolo wants me to do it. Membership shooting coaching. I thought about that too, but I don't know. I'm only one man. How can I scale like, you know, individual shooting coaching for everybody online? I don't know if I could only do, you know, so many a day. But I'm a leftist, I think. Yes, I'm a lefty. I'm a pinko commie bastard. Which makes sense, right? Most coaches are about the team and about sacrifice and about community, you know. Hello, Diego from Panama. So, all right. Oh, so my podcast is called the Muckrake Podcast. I'll put it down in here in the chat so you can see it. Because maybe if you guys are out of the country, a muckraker is someone who, like, you know, digs up all the dirt on politicians and uncovers the truth. So the Muckrake Podcast is in there. Check it out if you're interested. It's very popular, apparently. So, you know, and then what else can I do besides these kind of things? And like, you know, this like maybe this another version of a breakdown video that I already do. You know, if it got big, I would definitely take one of my breakdowns I normally do for YouTube and just put it there and let only you guys have it. Well, we could talk about politics if you like, but I think we're going to lose a lot of our viewers right now. Where is everybody tonight, by the way? Is it Friday night? Everyone's out? I hope you guys are not partying without masks and whatnot, because that's one of the reasons why we're still stuck in this darn pandemic. Let's see here. So it sounds like, yeah, people might want to do have a membership. So I'll really think about that and figure out how I want to structure it. Do I think Nick Nurse is the best coach? I mean, right now, what he's done for me lately, it's Fulstra. He's the best coach right now, what he's doing. All right, Captain Obvious from Japan. Wow, thank you. Yes, and Manuel Roberts, the answer is yes, he did. And so what, I suppose, especially in today's climate. I don't play NBA 2K. I don't do streams. I had tried to get into that, and I don't have the time to master 2K, even though I should. And then PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5, which one is it? That's coming out. That should be exciting, right? Will it make 2K better? Because I think it needs to get a little bit better for me. Do you think the Heat can stop the Celtics drives? So that's a great question, because they weren't stopping them as much, and then they were having to foul. So they obviously were able to do that in the past. And sometimes when they stop them, it's like by an amazing defensive play, which you don't want to rely on, right? You want to rely on no middle and then moving your feet and not fouling, and then just contesting cleanly. So that's going to be a real big key, because the Celtics at some point just said, F it, we're just going to take it to the basket and see what happens. And they got rewarded. Oh, wow, some more super chats. My goodness, thank you guys so much. Bernardo, again, my gosh. You think Mike Malone is the right coach for the Nuggets, or should they make a Kerr-esque move? And do you think they need more off-ball stuff? I'm a Warriors fan, but I'm completely in love with the Nugs. I think Malone is good. I think he's got a good pulse for this team. I think he knows how to motivate them. I think he should keep doing what he's doing. I mean, off ball, when you got a guy like Jokic, I mean, they do lots of it. It's not as much as maybe we see in the regular season, but that's to be expected. I just feel like, and by the way, I love all the handoffs that the Heat do, especially with with Duncan Robinson coming off all those handoffs and then boom and pass it back and come back around that for the shot. The Nuggets don't do that. They're always looking to do the handoff into a drive, right? They don't really have a guy catch the ball in the handoff and shoot it like Duncan Robinson, which makes it so hard to guard. So I think they do that too much, and that just kind of is frustrating to me, because it allows sort of four guys to bunch around the ball and kind of muck it up enough times where you got to try and keep it spread out and do some things differently. So I think that they're fine. I think that what they're doing is good, but maybe get rid of some of the handoffs. Paul Chai, thank you so much from, I would think HK is Hong Kong, right? Wow, thank you very much. Wow, hard to believe. And then Bernardo R. That's not Russia, is it? R. What else would R be? Tell me what RB is, what R is. I'm down the bottom here. How can we fix the damn California high tax and expensive housing? Well, they're getting rid of that tax, I believe, or it's on the thing where you know how people would be able to save. That actually would make everyone's taxes go up, or the people who had houses for a long time. That Proposition 13, maybe they're going to repeal, but we'll talk. R is for Brazil. Oh, yes, I keep forgetting that that's Brazil. I knew that from last time. Forgive me. Why is R Brazil? Anybody? Why is R Brazil? R stands for, it doesn't stand for rupee. Let's see. How's my three-point jumper? My three-point jumper is always awesome. I was a shooter back in the day, and if they had let me shoot off the dribble, I would have been. You wouldn't see me on TV probably, but that was a long time ago. But I think my jumper is still pretty good in the driveway jumper. And then if I ever get back into a real gym, we'll see. But yeah, Real, is that what it is? Wait, is that what they have at? What is the official? The Brazilian real. Okay, so that's the name of the currency there, right? Okay, that makes sense to me. Hey, we're learning things, right? We're talking a little bit of politics. We're talking about money. And I don't know, did I ever get an answer for New Zealand about what you guys say, hello, how you say hi to each other? Let's see. Where do you rank Jayson Tatum as of now? I mean, I kind of put Brown in front of him. Probably top 20 though. That's top 15. I always screw that list up, so I don't even know what list that is. But it's got to be top 20, top 15, whatever that is. Yeah, and both those guys, which makes the Celtics really dangerous going forward. Hello from Jamaica. Who is more likely to be Finals MVP between LeBron and AD? Eef. That's interesting. I would think AD might put up the more gaudy numbers. He might put up the bigger scoring numbers, and that might sway people. There might be the whole LeBron, LeBron fatigue. But man, is that going to be upsetting to LeBron without question. I imagine it would help him if he really does deserve it and it's really clear. But if it's close and it goes to AD, I think that would probably drive LeBron nuts. But I don't know. I feel like AD would be that guy because he probably will have the bigger scoring numbers against either of these two teams. All right, let's go through some notes. What do you say here? So we talked about that. We talked about Jalen Brown. Marcus Smart just drove me nuts. Like there was a couple plays in a row where it's on a fast break. He does like a fake pass into a layup and just blows the layup. Then he shoots like a air ball floater from 4 feet away, on the next play down, whatever. And then, castaway star Solomon Hill, who's in there again, does a shot fake from 28 feet out, and he goes for it, and then boom, boom, layup for Bam, because he gets out of position going for a fake like that. Like, what are you doing, man? Let Solomon Hill shoot that. You shouldn't be going for a shot fake from there. And he literally was 5-6 feet behind the three-point line. So those are the kind of things that he does them over and over again that drive me nuts. Now, he hits a three that kind of got him going, and then he did a nice assist on a drive. So, he tries to balance it out, but like the unnecessary mistakes drive me nuts. And I don't even know if he realizes that they're mistakes. That's the other problem. He kind of should. I mean, some of them are missed easy shots, so that should be pretty clear. But sometimes they're even kind of, they're kind of subtle things that, like, someone needs to tell you if you don't realize it like that you did those things wrong. What's a good example? I don't even know. Maybe like going for that fake could be a good example of that. Doesn't show up on the box score anywhere, but everybody knows. Frank Herrera, thank you so much. Wow. Worried Heat fan looking for hope on how we can win this series. Celtics seemed to figure out the zone, and Bam looked like his injury was affecting him. Did it really? I felt like Bam looked fine. What did I miss? At least in the first half, and then I kind of didn't look for it again. But Bam, I thought, was okay. So, you should be a little bit worried, because both these teams are pretty evenly matched. So it's like, no one's going to blow anybody. Well, watch, they're going to get blown out next game. But, and tonight, I guess we'll consider it a blowout too. But it feels like they're evenly matched, and then, for instance, even though it might have been winning going away, like it looked like the Heat were going to blow them out, right? So it's like either team can kind of take control of these games on an individual basis. But there's no question, like they're in the catbird seat. They're up 3-2. They're playing at home. And I think they're in good shape. You have a great coach who's going to prepare them and figure out some things and keep the Celtics guessing on the defensive end or on the offensive end for Celtics. So I still would feel pretty good about the Heat where they are right now. They got 2 games. They only need to win 1. Let's see here. What do you consider a good defensive player? Who is your defensive player of the year? I mean, anybody that can keep a ball handler in front and not get beat off the dribble, that's amazing in this day and age because the ball handlers are so good now. So That's who. Now, who was that? Who are the people that are really great like that? I mean, hell, it's even the guy Dort on OKC was great at that and really harassed Harden. You know, Harden's going to get you. There are going to be lots of times where he's going to get you no matter what. But I thought Dort was great at that. But let's see. I don't even know. Who am I missing? Other people who are the usual suspects. You know, but for me, I think it's on-ball defense. Who are the guys who can keep them in front, and who are the guys who get around the screens, ball screens really well? Those are the guys who I think are the most valuable on defense right now. Dave, oh my goodness, thank you again. Which eliminated team were you most surprised of? Was I surprised they got eliminated, or which of the eliminated teams? I don't know. I mean, listen, I wasn't surprised about the Bucks. I had predicted the Bucks were going to get hurt by the Heat and their shooting, and they did. But I don't know. Let's see. I mean, like, I don't think I was that surprised by Houston. I thought for a second they might be able to do something and really make for a long series, but I didn't realize the extent of their. I don't think they like each other, but so that's not surprising. Let's see here. Who else was in the? Let me go to the summary of the season. I'm forgetting now what all the damn playoff bracket is. Okay, so no. Nobody really surprised me. I think maybe Toronto. Toronto, I thought was going to get to the finals. I thought they'd easily be here, and then they get to the finals, and they didn't. And that was a big shock to me for sure. You know, and I didn't think that Siakam would play that badly. So, okay, any more notes? So 41 points in the third. Nothing worked for the Heat. Zone, man, fast break buckets off the wazoo. Iguodala was hurting them, and then he got that tech. So, you know, he got into it with Tice. I don't know, you know, basically Tice was like a giant among, you know, the small guys, and it let guys like Iguodala to have to try and like fight with him. And he might, like, I don't think he gets suspended, but like he threw almost a punch basically, right? Kind of this is what he led with, but you can't do that, man. You can't give them you know, technical fouls and all that stuff. That was not good. Muhammad Abed wants to know how tall I am. I am 6 feet tall. So I am taller than Fred VanVleet and about the same height as Kyle Lowry standing next to him. Let's see here. Bucks need to trade Brook Lopez. I don't know. Brook Lopez to me is what makes them not fair. But then he kind of disappears in the playoffs. So that's another issue. And then they can move on to the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. Right. Okay. I think that's what you. Okay, man. Well, I see where you went with that. Oh, here's an all caps question. How do you know? Whoa. Where did it go? How do I get in contact with LeBron regarding Breonna Taylor and Black Lives Matter? I have a really great suggestion. I don't know how you get in contact with LeBron. Maybe just try and tag him on Instagram, right? That's where he is most of the time. I don't know. But let's see here. Do you see Stevens limiting Kemba's minutes into the fourth? No, unless there's like foul trouble. I think they'll play in the regular minutes, which... you know, Kemba ended up getting, I got 28 minutes. Oh, because he had foul trouble. So the foul trouble is the only thing that's going to limit his minutes. Otherwise, he'll play his 38, 39, whatever. You know, I look smaller than 6 feet. Jeez, that's kind of weird. I would think I look exactly like I'm 6 feet. I'll sit up straighter. Let's see here. Thoughts on Udonis Haslem? You know, I'm sure a great elder statesman, a great leader. He's been there for 17 years. It's a nice story. So, you know, probably be a coach, I'm sure, at some point, probably with the Heat. So stay tuned for that, maybe next year. You think if Giannis rejects extension, Bucks should trade Giannis? Yeah, if he's going to leave, and it looks pretty clear, they should trade him. But then again, most teams might just simply say, well, wait until free agency. We don't want to give up anything for him. And although Giannis could try and force it like AD did. But yeah, I would think that... the Bucks are going to want to do that if once it gets clear that he's going to leave, because you don't want to lose him for nothing. But I don't know. Do you think that Chris Paul is the final piece the Bucks need? He would probably help. Yeah, you know, get rid of Bledsoe and put him in there for sure. That would help. And I don't know if it's the lost piece, the final piece, but it's a good piece. Am I an actual fan of an NBA team? You know, not really. I like the teams that play like a team. So whoever has the ball at the moment, I might be a fan of. I don't know. Are the Clippers screwed if they don't win the championship next year? Yeah, because then they got to deal with Kawhi and Paul George being free agents, and that's two back to back, not winning it, and depends on how far they get too. That would probably be might give them some wandering eyes. But again, I think Kawhi might be nearing the end of his run as well. I just worry that his injury to his quad is not going to ever get better. Do I think that Joe Biden is a joke candidate? No, he's not. He's an actual real human being who will be able to get enough great people around him to run the country competently. And that's that's certainly better than where we are now. Let's see here. What do you think would be the best trade for CP3? Oh, man, I don't even know, like, who, you know. I mean, I guess you're right. You would say the Bucks would give up, like, no one would probably really want Bledsoe, but they give up Bledsoe and a pick or something. That, you know. If it was a really good pick, I don't know if, excuse me, wow. I don't know, let's see, what the Bucks have to give up as far as picks, but if they had a really good first round pick, and they would, and then I think OKC would take Bledsoe from them for that pick. But other than that, it's like, I don't even know where else. CP3 would fit in anywhere, and he'd be great. Let's see here. So, what does Portland need to do to win a championship? I mean, I don't know. I like to see them healthy first and foremost. I want to see, you know, first of all, I think Rodney Hood is still under contract, but I want to see what's his face, who didn't go to the bubble, Trevor Ariza. I want to see everybody healthy for the full time. I think they merit one run, I guess, next year if they keep it all together with that team all together and see what they can do. That team is pretty good on paper if they're healthy. So that's the only question I want to see first before they do anything else. Let's see here. Y'all asked for politics and got it. I'm in, Coach. So yeah, thanks, Nation JJ. Yeah, but I'm seeing some Trump stuff in here, man. I'm about to tell Jigglypuff to kick him out. So thank you, John Doe, for the Ariza. My mind is mush. Camilo wants to see Portland play defense. Me too, damn it. But I'm telling you, when you have Ariza plays defense, Hood plays some defense. I mean, from that position, whatever. Then they have Whiteside can play defense. Who else? CJ and Dame, whatever. But they'll outscore the other teammate, the other backcourt anyway. What do I think of the Hawks young core? I love the Hawks young core. I love John Collins. I love certainly Trae Young. I love. I think that Cam Reddish is going to be good. I think he really is going to be good. There's something about him that I'm impressed with. And then the other guy who played for Virginia is really good and really solid. So they have a nice young 4 or 5, and then the shooter. My goodness gracious, the shooter, Herter. Kevin Herter is really a nice piece too. So they have a nice 5-6 players together there that I think they can build upon. Get maybe 1 or 2 other people they can pick up and improve, and then they'll have a nice season. So there you go. And Dave Wu, I got another one. Thank you so much. How can Shea Gorgeous Alexander develop his game? Thunder up, baby. Well, I think his jump shot's going to be the biggest thing he needs to refine, and he's got a weird rhythm with it, which is why he's kind of inconsistent. So I think that's a big thing. His rhythm is weird. He lifts the arms up too early compared to when he's bending his knees. And if they can figure that out, I think he'll really smooth that out better and become a better shooter. He's got the handle. He's got the finishing package. He can pass. So I think he's got everything else. So the shooting is the big thing off a dribble too. Let's see. What's the next move for the Raptors? That's another good question. They got to get better play out of Siakam and deeper in the playoffs, so they need to make sure that he's getting the right development and him shooting. Other than that, I mean, OG is great. I love Fred VanVleet. Lowry is really great for them. So they're in good shape. I mean, Serge. They have a nice little team that can really compete, and so they just need to. Let's see, if they need another piece, what would it be? Probably like another guard, right? It feels like a good scoring guard, maybe like a bigger guard. To play off the bench for them. That might be something they're looking for. That could help them. Let's see here. Well, listen, I think we're getting closer to the end here, guys. Oh, my good. Mehmet Sanmez, thank you so much. Would the Nets make for the finals this year if healthy? Probably. Kyrie and KD alongside all those guys. Probably. I mean, it would be hard to picture. Now, we don't know what KD is going to be like when he gets back, but even if he's like 85 or 90% of his old self, that should be enough to get them pretty far. Like conference finals, no question, and then we'll see from there. But they didn't hire a coach yet, so they got to get a coach in there, I think, right? Did the Brooklyn Nets hire a coach? Nets hire a coach. Oh my God, Steve Nash! I forgot. So they already have Steve Nash. Yeah, next year should be really special for them. I think that they're really going to hit it and really, take control of the Eastern Conference. I don't know if they get all the way to the finals, but they're going to do well. Yeah, and then Reaper. No, it's Trump who has dementia, like without question. Amanda Medeiros. Thank you, Amanda. Wow, that's so nice of you. What would it take for the Heat to beat the Lakers in the finals, barring some crazy turnaround by the Nuggets or Celtics? So the Heat, I think we talked about this last time, and I was going to say that like the Heat need to shoot the lights out, A. So remember, if you shoot 6 or more threes than the other team, it's almost like guarantee you win 89% of the time. So they need to make more threes than the Lakers by like 5 or 6 each game. That would really be a big thing because they'll probably get out-rebounded big time. And, if they're getting a lot more threes, and then the offense is working nicely, and that's what they have to worry about. The Lakers are really good with their hands. They're physical. They disrupt a lot of things, and they deflect a lot of passes. So that's what they're going to have to somehow stand up to, the incredible pressure that the defense puts on them. Now, on the flip side, you got Bam on AD. You got Butler or Crowder on LeBron. That's not so bad. That they could work with that, and then everybody else matches up. The zone, I think, could actually do okay against AD. I think because AD likes to take those long twos anyway. The zone should be in the way to get in his way, at least contest those. So, I think the Heat are equipped to do it. So we'll see. They might even be more equipped than the Celtics actually to handle that. Because I'm not really sure what they have to guard AD and LeBron, right? I guess who's it going to be? Is it going to be if they start like Dwight, then that means Tice has to guard Dwight. So that means Tatum and Brown need to deal with AD and LeBron. And I don't know how I feel about that. How do you feel? I don't think it's great. Let's see. So thank you, Amanda. So generous. Jakey the Snakey. Wow, thank you. Hey, Coach. Big fan from Australia. Oi, is that what they say? What do they say in Australia? What do they say in New Zealand? Damn it, someone tell me. I'm all the way at the bottom of the chat, so if you answer right now, I'll listen. Let's see here. What do you see with LeBron's free throws? I love that video you did a while back. They're better. How did he shoot tonight? Oh, he didn't play tonight. Sorry. How did he shoot last night? I think he shot pretty well from the free throw line. It's not great. I don't like the rhythm, but he's kind of getting him to go in. I would be really worried, in a must-have season on the line. I'd be really worried about him shooting those. So that's still an issue, but he's been better. Although I need to check now, what he's shooting. Let's look at really quickly what he's shooting in the playoffs. Why not? Since we have the world at our fingertips. So teams. All teams, LA Lakers, players, playoffs. Let's see here. In the playoffs, LeBron is shooting from the line. He's shooting 73%. So, oh no. Yeah, 73% on 7 attempts a game. Not bad, not bad. I think it's probably better than the regular season, right? In the regular season, LeBron was shooting 69%. So she's shooting better now, but still, it's not what you want to see. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, in a close, tight game for your season on the line. So there you go. And thank you for watching that video at LeBron's free throws. Josiah John, thank you so much. Harden to the Sixers. Oh, he wants to follow D'Antoni, who I think is going there. That's interesting. That's really interesting because that's sort of what they need. I don't know. Is that a real rumor? Or is that you just making that up? Because I don't think I've heard that, but I'm really intrigued by that now. That's the position they need, and it's kind of like the kind of player they need too. Leo, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh wow, this is Munib. Thank you for the Rockets. What are your thoughts on the possible Harden trade? So wait, this is a thing? Why didn't I see this? Good day for Australia, and then there it is. Kiora for New Zealand. Okay, interesting. Kiora. That's 2 words. I wonder what that means. Wait, when is this thing? When did the Harden trade come out? I didn't see anything like Shams or Woj talking about it. It's been talked about today. So if I go and I look at whatchamacallit, and people are now following me on my other account. So people go and look for me on my politics. I do have a politics Twitter as well. And you'll recognize it. It's Can You Hear Me SMH. So if you want to follow me there for some real hot takes, you can go. But that's kind of cool. Thank you if that's what you guys are following me there. Now, what was I going to do? I was going to look for... All right, I'm going to look this up. I'm looking for under Woj. You mean to tell me if I somehow missed Wojnarowski talking about about I don't see anything about. I see Dell Demps, but I don't see anything about whatchamacallit, Harden to Philly. So who's talking about this? Where is this coming from? There it is. Can you hear me, SMH? Get it? See, I borrowed a little bit. YouTubers are bringing it up, Coach. Harden to 76ers. Okay, well, I don't know. I'll have to go on and ask the insiders to find out if that really is a thing. Ben Shapiro is a complete and utter hack and a intellectually dishonest person, and do not waste your time. And you know what? I feel really bad for his wife. Did I just say that? But I do, because what he said about Cardi B makes me feel really, really bad for him or her, somebody. Nonetheless, I'm asking Jared Weiss, who's the man with the plan, who's also my podcasting man as well, if he knows. Have you heard? I'm gonna tell him. I should have him call in the show. Have you heard about? Let's see, what's it called? Harden to Philly. And then you know what? If he responds, let's bring him in the show, shall we? You want to do that? I can do that live. One last question, Amanda. Thank you so much. With the development of Bam and Tyler Hero and Robinson, what other piece they need to get to the finals? Dragic older. I would think they want to upgrade Dragic, and I think that Crowder makes me a little nervous. I'd love to be able to upgrade him too. I love him as a player. He's tough and all those things, but I think you need to improve that position and that role that they have for him with somebody who shoots better. And who can play defense. They need a better 3-and-D than him. I hate to say it. Let's see here. What do you think about the Warriors next year with the healthy roster? I think they're going to be really tough, but they still need some moves to make to fill it out. So I don't know if they're like conference finals tough, but they're definitely semifinals. So, all right, Jared's not getting back to me so quickly, god darn it, but he's probably sleeping. Well, it's just after midnight there. Let's see here. All right, let's wrap it up. What do you say? We're at the hour mark here. Again, I can't get over how generous everybody was in the super chats. Thank you so much for that. It really, really helps at this time of year. Who do I think will win next year? Maybe the Clippers. The Clippers figure it out. I don't know. It seems like on paper that'd be who it is. Harden, the Sixers. I'm really intrigued by that, and I'll have to kind of dig around and see if that really is a thing. But that's interesting. That really is interesting. Thank you, Lee Christensen. Wow, very generous of you. Thank you so much for the kind words and the super chat. Again, really, I'm just blown away. And again, let's keep talking about this membership thing, because I think maybe I'll do it. You got it, JT. And I don't know. I think it's time to go to bed, everybody. And Tom Brady, GOAT. No, my pleasure. Thanks for being in. And let's see here. Well, what's this say? John Clark, NBC, SI. Okay, Sixers have a lot of interest in Mike D'Antoni and feeling with some in the organization that he could lure James Harden to Philly. That's really interesting. I don't know what their relationship is like, but it's probably pretty good because he let him, become an MVP, right? When will I have a live stream of my politics talk? We do the live stream thing as a Patreon, so you might have to become a patron of the Patreon of the patreon.com/muckrakepodcast. If you want to check that out, we have a lot of really cool things. By the way, we go through movies and discuss how movies are, how certain movies affected or connected to the culture and the politics of the era. It's very high-minded stuff. Very my podcast partner on that side is a professor and a writer. And it's very, we get in there and really dig deep into the political climate. It's good. Marcus Powell, thank you so much. Huge thumbs up to you. And I think we're gonna wrap it up, man. But keep your eye on the Harden thing. I'm really interested about that. That could be even a good video. But we'll see. How many years does Harden have left on his contract? Anybody know really quickly? Because that would be a good question to know. Harden. If I type in, is it contract? Yeah, current contract. No, through 2022, 23. So we are what? 2021? No, 2019, 20, 2020, 2021, 21, 22. He's got 3 years left in that contract. So I don't know. It's interesting. The Rockets certainly don't feel a lot of pressure to trade him yet. So we'll see. But anyway, big, huge shout out to Gigolo Puff. Thank you again for being the moderator and keeping all this stuff germane, although it looks like your job was a little bit easier tonight, perhaps. And thank you all to the super chats. This is amazing. and all the answers that I don't know because I'm not an encyclopedia, especially with the contracts. But anyway, I can't thank you enough. Hey, it's a good thing, right? Because we get another game, and this was not a closeout game. I always want more games. That's always my bottom line. And we'll have more shows. So I think I'm going to be here tomorrow. I'm pretty sure. But Saturday nights, I don't know. You guys are probably going to be out, and busy, right? But we'll see. Maybe I'll do a little poll in the community and see what we all feel, and then do that or something. But I know the holiday is coming up on Sunday, so I'm probably going to be busy for that. So that might mean that I have to be here for tomorrow, right? Well, we'll figure it out. But either way, thanks for joining us. I know it was a little bit weird tonight, but hey, that's what Friday nights are for. And I will see you again really soon. And don't forget, sports fans, at B-Ball Breakdown, we're not a channel, we're a conversation. You in? Are you in, though? Really? Are you? I don't hear you. Are you in?